The Champions Trophy is starting, and for once, the team that is sort of attracting all the eyeballs, everyone's talking about, is England. Have you ever been at a major limited overs tournament, Michael, where England have been such overwhelming favourites?
No, this is unknown territory for the England one-day team. It's been a remarkable 2-year story of where the team were at the World Cup to where they are now. You know, I think Owen Morgan deserves a lot of credit. You know, there's talk, you know, Trevor Bayliss, the coach, Paul Farbrace, the assistant coach, this new energy. But you know, Andrew Strauss, the director of English cricket, focused a lot more on the white ball game. So they deserve a lot of credit. But I always think the leader of that team, he's the engine, he's the energy in the dressing room. He's the one that on days that it doesn't go so well, he keeps telling them, no, this is the brand of cricket we're going to play, this fearless approach. I expect you all to try and hit the ball out of the park on a regular basis. That's the style of cricket we're going to play when we get the ball in hand. And that's the one vulnerability about the England one-day team, is the bowling. They still go for wickets. You know, he sets fields in an aggressive sense. That fifth fielder in the circle, he uses it as a catching option, like all good captains do so in this era. So yeah, it's unknown territory. We've actually reached the final of the Champions Trophy the last 2 times it's been in England. 2004, my team, we got a bit lucky in one of the games, then we beat Australia in the semi-final.
We are not going to talk about that final.
No, we're not. No. We're not going to mention the West Indies. And then Alistair Cook's side, who lost to India just a few years ago at Edgbaston. But realistically, on those 2 occasions, you know, I don't think Alistair will mind me saying it, we weren't a great one-day team at all. You know, I certainly wasn't a part of a great one-day team. I feel, and I never want to use the word great until teams win trophies, but we have a feeling in this country that we have a group of England cricketers now that play the white ball game like the rest of the world. You know, we play it in a sense and a style that the opposition are fearful of the England side. I don't think any teams in my lifetime would have gone to, you know, Champions Trophy, World Cups with the mindset, oh, wait a minute, that England side looked dangerous. I think this is the first tournament realistically where the rest of the world are looking at the England side and go, oh no, look at that batting lineup. They've got so many options, so much power, so many players that could hurt you, so many players that will ask the opposing captain so many questions. So yeah, we just hope the expectations aren't too high and they can cope with the pressure. And a fairness, but I remember England getting bowled out at the Ageas Bowl. I think it was in 2015, after the 2015 World Cup, and they were bowled out in 46.4 overs. And the old school commentators pointed, oh, they've left 3.2 overs out there. That's criminal that you don't bat your 50 overs. At the end of the game, Owen Morgan went, no, I'm happy with that. I'm happy playing that way. I want us to continue to play that way. The more we play that way, the more it'll get embedded in our system. That's just the norm to hit the ball out the ground, play at 6, 7 runs per over. Go looking for those boundaries in the middle overs, don't look for the 1s and 2s yet, target that 5th fielder in the circle. And I think it was exactly the right message for the captain to send out it that way. You know, you old school buggers that are talking about the game know nothing. This is the right style of play to potentially get us in a position to win a major trophy. You know, the T20 World Cup final, you know, you look at the England side in the Indian T20 World Cup, and I didn't give them any hope because of the wickets.
Did you watch the England-South Africa game?
Absolutely, yeah.
And that to me symbolized a new England.
Yeah, you know, they went for it, you know, and you know, I thought in Indian conditions the batting might get unstuck with the spin that they were going to face, and I thought the bowlers would get unstuck because they didn't have enough skills, but they adapted brilliantly, got to the final. Just didn't have that capability in that last over, just to be smart enough to win the game. They should have won that game. If they get into that position again, and I believe this group will get in that position again, whether it's this Champions Trophy, whether it's the World Cup in 2019, whether it's tournaments after that, I think the DNA of English white ball cricket now is set. I think Owen Morgan, whatever happens to Owen over the next few years, whether he is that first England captain to lift a 50-over Champions Trophy or World Cup, if he's not, I still will remember that Owen Morgan was the captain at the time that the English white ball game suddenly, it got into the new world. We started to get cool and trendy.